Hi, thanks for tuning in. I am trying to find an agent that will get my book published, Life at Camp, Combating the Sexism We Tolerate and Why the Military Should Take the Lead. So I've written the manuscript. I've sent it off, the draft, to Department of Defense review program where they just basically verify that it doesn't have any unclassified information in it. I'm a veteran, and I believe in my story. I just finished reading a memoir of a soldier who was raped in the military, and the trauma was not only from being raped, but from the response by the organization and the chain of command, and not being believed, and just the process of attempting to hold the perpetrator accountable. And I just got another book in the mail. It's another memoir that I'll be reading too. But there are a lot of books about personal experiences in the military of this horrific sexual violence that happens, and then the enduring trauma that is inflicted upon these warriors who are patriots and want to serve their country. My book is not necessarily my experience with rape or sexual assault, but the collection of the sexism, the acts of sexism, because I was an equal opportunity officer, and so what I received was the beginning of the spectrum, the disrespect and the gender bias that happens in a very male-dominated type of organization, where women attempt to be themselves and to be confident and get the job done, to compete with their colleagues, but there is so much gender bias that feminine, or whatever they bring to the team, oftentimes men are offended by it, and some men act out in disrespectful ways. Some of it's subtle, some of it's unconscious, unintentional, but it happens. And it gives space for predators, real sick people, a place to hide and look for opportunities to actually do sex violence, sex-based violence. And so my time as EO officer and a diversity manager, it became so important to me to prevent it from happening, because I love warriors, because I love the military, and I respect the institution and all the great people and the honorable people. But these acts were happening over and over again. It happened when I joined in 1981, and then here I was in my 40s, up until I retired at age 56. The same sort of behavior was happening. So the prevention efforts of the EO process, or even the SAPR SHARP program, the sexual assault response programs, initiatives are not working. And I'm hoping that if we somehow legislate accountability for gender equality and reframe the warrior identity, instead of masculine, to a more balanced warrior identity, whether you're male or female or anywhere along the spectrum of your gender identity, the talents that you bring to be an awesome warrior, to fight in combat at the most horrific levels. And I've never been to combat. My husband's been to combat, and many of my friends have been to combat. And there is a level of intensity that one needs to be successful there. Grit and resilience and courage. But it's not based on gender. It's really based on heart and motivation and preparation. And for so long, the military has looked at masculine as the epitome of the warrior who can kill or be killed. And we know that it's not based on gender. So reframing the warrior identity and holding the military accountable to recruit, retain, and promote women and embrace what women bring to the team, I feel will reduce the sex-based crimes from happening, because there'll be more respect amongst the warriors versus this lack of respect for feminine. So I'm hoping that my book and all the stories that I put in the book and examples of a micro cultural pattern in Vermont National Guard is in the Department of Defense. And I feel like I have a unique perspective and a passion to tell the story. So I am hoping that somebody will help me find an agent to publish my book and get my story out there, because I think it's important and I'm passionate about it. And I've been retired almost 3 years, since the Guard, but I'm still working diligently, writing. I wrote the manuscript, we're line editing it now and pitching it to agents. So check out my site, check out the blogs that I put on my site and my Facebook and other social platforms, and I hope that you'll help me in this fight to combat sexism. Thanks for listening.